Hey, what's up everybody? It's Christian with Reaper Disc, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the weight of your discs. The weight of the disc can actually affect the disc flight very much. A heavier disc is typically more overstable than a lighter weight disc, but lightweight disc will typically go further than heavyweight disc, especially in tailwinds or distance competition style settings. So I'm going to go through the main different kinds of discs that you have in your bag and what weights will typically work best for those types of discs. So let's start, first things first, with the putters. Your actual putting putters need to be close to max weight. I wouldn't really go anything below like a 170, but I would try to keep it closer to that max weight 175. This allows you to have a little more repeatable putts and things like that, easier to replicate, and be able to do the same putt over and over and over again. That way, nothing ever changes. This is also going to help with windy situations because heavier putters aren't as affected by the wind. Now for your throwing putters and your approach discs, like this Toro, again, max weight is actually going to be a little better than lighter weights. This is because approach discs aren't made for distance. They're made for accuracy. And in order to be accurate, they need to be able to fight the wind and not flip up as much if that's not your goal. Now having a good, maybe like a floaty, turnover putter is a little different, but typically your approach discs are going to want to be close to max weight. That way you can count on being able to repeat the same shot over and over and over again with less variables. Like I said, it's also very important to know that the wind isn't going to affect these shots. So I know that my max weight approach disc isn't actually going to be going for distance. I'm not trying for distance with this disc, I'm trying for accuracy. So as long as I can continue doing the same shot over and over again, it's actually going to be a little better. Now as far as mid-ranges go, this is where you can start branching out a little bit from weights. I typically carry, and these are going to be two of the exact same discs, they're both J's. And if you want to see more of how these fly, you can check out the review I did of the J over on the channel. So, having a more max weight, like this Protostar J, is going to be good for those repeatable, accurate, you're not really trying to get distance. Now, the lighter weight J, on the other hand, you're going to be able to reach out a little further with it, get it to fly straighter, and this might be better for turnovers or tunnel shots, something that you can hyzer flip up and be able to carry straight. Now when it comes to your fairway drivers, again, you can start getting away with having some more variances. Actually, from here out, you can have a wide array of different weights for different things. Now, typically, your overstable stuff, like, this Firebird, you're going to want to stay overstable and be overstable. That's the reason you have that disc in your bag. In order to do that properly, these should be max weight as well. These are, stuff that you're going to count on over and over and over again, especially in windy situations. You're going to need these for wind fighters. So, having something max weight is going to help out with that. Now, discs that you need to be able to finesse a little more and maybe get a little more distance out of, having a lighter weight like this 171 Hawkeye is really beneficial for that. I can shape this disc way better than I can the Firebird because I can get it to start doing different things depending on how I throw it. Now in more max weight disc, that becomes a little harder. So I typically take a few grams off of max, and that's where I like my shot shaping fairways to be. Now let's get on to the distance drivers, and this is where you're gonna find the most variance. Distance drivers can be used to cover a wide, vast array of different shots. So first, your max weight distance drivers, these are for repeatable, consistent, more accurate drives. Something that I just want to hyzer that's what I'm going to be reaching for my max weight stuff. This Star Destroyer is max weight, fairly overstable, and I know that if I want to throw something and have it just fly and fade and not be shooting for distance, this is what I'm going to reach for. As well as for big forehand drives. I don't like things too lightweight because they get too flippy and I have to really worry about my nose angles. Because of that, I'm focusing so much on hitting that I'm not actually focusing on the shot itself. So if I'm really looking for power forehands or big forehand hyzers, I'm going to be trying to reach for a more max weight disc. Now, true distance drivers, drivers that you are trying to just rip and burn down the fairway. That is whenever the lighter weights come in. I've got 3 more destroyers right here, and all ranging from 167 to 171. 167 is typically my distance weight. Whenever I want something that is, just pure distance, I've got a bigger fairway to work with, kind of like this hole that I'm at right now, you're going to be able to rip big flex shots out of these, big hyzer flips out of these, and just eat up a lot more distance. Because they're lighter weight, they'll actually fly a little bit further, especially if you have a tailwind and get that wind assist. It wants to carry it further and stay in the air longer because, well, lighter things, they don't fall as hard as heavier things. The same goes and even more for my pinky destroyer. If you've ever played with me or watched any videos of me throwing, you'll know this destroyer goes really, really far because it is a lightweight destroyer that is fairly understable for what it is. This thing likes to go far. It really, really does. The same with this blue Star Destroyer. Again, a 171, and can really get up out of a hyzer and fly really far. This one especially is really glidey, and that is in no small part thanks to being a little more lightweight. Now there are a couple other discs as far as weight is considered that, weight actually plays a big part, and those are mainly for utility shots. One disc that I use solely for distance competitions isn't this one. I don't have one in the bag currently. Is a Blizzard Katana sitting around 150 to 155. If anyone knows the name David Wiggins Jr., you'll know what I'm talking about before I say this, and those of you who don't, just go look at a Blizzard boss. You'll see his name right next to world distance record holder. Now, the reason that it's on there is because he used a lightweight boss, I think around 150 grams, to set the world record distance at over 1,100 feet, which is really, really far and is basically, 3 shots for the rest of us. He was able to do that because he had a big wind assist and a very lightweight disc that the wind was able to carry. So if you're faced with that sort of situation or pure distance competitions where you have favorable wind conditions and all of the airspace to work with, you're going to want that really lightweight but really fast disc. Now the other disc that I have is my Champion Valkyrie, which is 150 grams. This is a super lightweight disc, and I use it for rollers and kind of like trick shots almost, where I need something crazy understable. Now if you are just learning how to throw rollers, a lightweight understable disc is going to be your best friend. You're going to be able to get it over onto the ground really fast. Like I said, I use this disc mainly for rollers and other things that I need to get onto the ground without having the big rainbow roller shape. I can throw it flat and it's immediately going to dive down, get on edge, and start rolling. So, there's how weight affects the disc that you have and affects the way that they fly. Tell me what you guys think about this little lesson. Drop me a comment down below and let me know, do you prefer max weight discs or lighter weight discs? If you want to follow the channel, it doesn't cost you anything, but you get to be one of the first ones to know when we drop new content. Follow us on social media at Reaper Discs to keep up to date with inventory restocks and new releases. If you want to start varying out and filling your bag with different discs in different weights, you can click the link in the description of this video to head over to reaperdisc.com and start shopping to your little heart's desire. You can also find this awesome shirt that I'm wearing in this video over there as well. Again, I'm Christian with Reaper Discs, and I'll see you guys in the next video.